When did you realize something was seriously wrong and no one else noticed? I was working the front desk at a small family entertainment center when a man came in with two kids, a boy and a girl who looked about 9 and 11. At first, nothing seemed unusual. The man bought them wristbands, ordered pizza, and led them to a table near the arcade. Plenty of parents brought their kids there every weekend, but something about the way those kids acted caught my attention. Most kids run straight to the games. These two didn't move until the man gave them permission. The girl quietly asked if she could go play air hockey. The man looked at her for a few seconds before saying, "Not until you finish every bite." She immediately lowered her head and started eating. No complaints, no negotiation, just obedience. I remember thinking it was odd, but every family is different. Then I noticed something else. Whenever I walked by their table, the kids would stop talking. Not pause, stop completely. Like they were afraid of being overheard. The man barely spoke above a whisper, but every time he did, both kids stiffened. About an hour later, the younger boy accidentally knocked over his drink. It wasn't a big deal. Kids spill things all the time. But the look on his face scared me. He instantly started apologizing over and over. His hands were shaking while he cleaned it up with napkins. The man didn't yell, didn't raise his voice. He simply leaned forward and said, "You know what happens when people make mistakes?" The boy went completely silent. I couldn't stop thinking about it. A few minutes later, the girl came up to my desk alone. She asked where the restroom was. When I pointed her toward it, she hesitated. Then she quietly asked, "Am I allowed to go by myself?" That question hit me like a brick. Not where is it? Not can I use it? Am I allowed? I told her yes. She glanced back toward the man before walking away. When she turned, I noticed dark bruising near her wrist. At first, I wondered if I'd imagined it, but when she returned a few minutes later, I saw it again. And suddenly, all the strange pieces started fitting together. The fear, the silence, the constant need for permission, the way both kids watched that man every second. I told my supervisor what I'd seen. She spent 10 minutes observing the family from a distance. When she came back, she immediately picked up the phone. The man must have sensed something, because he suddenly gathered the kids and headed for the exit. They left so quickly that they abandoned half their pizza. Police located them less than 20 minutes later, and that's when we learned the truth. The man wasn't their father. He was their mother's ex-boyfriend. He'd picked the children up from school earlier that day without permission and convinced them not to tell anyone where they were going. The kids had been too scared to speak up. According to the officers, the man had spent months threatening them and convincing them that nobody would believe them if they asked for help. A few days later, their mother came back to thank us. She told us something I'll never forget. She said the children had become experts at hiding fear because they'd learned that looking happy kept them out of trouble. That's why no one had noticed for so long. They didn't look like kids in danger. They looked like kids behaving perfectly. And that's exactly what made the situation so terrifying.